I'm Professor Dave, and I command you to watch this video.
He knows a lot about all kinds of stuff. Professor Dave explains.
The word imperative comes from the Latin impero, imperare, which means to give a command. In Italian, this implies a very strong mood in which a command, strong request or suggestion, or even a prohibition is being given. This will probably not be used with strangers or people you must be cordial with. In such a case, we will use the formal imperative, which we will discuss later. The normal imperative will be used with family and friends or others who won't mind if you boss them around a little bit. In such an informal context, Italian has two imperatives. These are affirmative and negative. Because it is a command that you give to someone else, the only forms are second person singular and second person plural, as first person and third person don't make any sense in this context. The endings are very easy, and they can be compared in the forms of the present indicative, with few exceptions. Let's see this in action. Using parlare, we can command that one person speak by using parla. For several, this will be parlate. Using scrivere to command that one person write, we would use scrivi. For a team of writers, we would use scrivete. Using dormire to command that one child go to sleep, we use dormi. For a whole bunch of kids, we use dormite. You may have noticed that these forms pretty much correspond with the second person forms of the present indicative, with only one exception, and that is the singular form for the first conjugation, which we would expect to end in I, but ends in A instead. There is a context in which you might command using the first person plural, requesting that the group you are a part of perform a certain action. But this is not technically a command, but rather an exhortation. So this will take a form of the subjunctive, just like in Latin. Andiamo a casa. With imperatives, there are a few irregulars that we must memorize, as always. Essere becomes sii and siate. Sii buono. Siate gentili. Datemi un biscottino. Avere will become abbi and abbiate. Abbi pazienza. Abbiate pazienza. Andare becomes va and andate. Andate a scuola, presto. Fare will become fa and fate. Fa I compiti prima di guardare la TV. Dare becomes da and date. Date qualcosa a quel poverino. Dire will become di and dite. Dite sempre la verità. Stare becomes sta and state. Sta fermo. State zitti. Sapere will become sappi and sappiate. Sappi che non ci sarà troppo tempo per fare tutto. These forms with an apostrophe are often substituted by the full form, vai, fai, stai, or dai. Also, and this is very important, with the imperative, all pronouns will be attached at the end. Compra il giornale. Compralo subito. Sbuccia le patate. Sbucciane tante. Anzi, sbucciale tutte. Suona il piano. Suonalo attentamente. Even the double object pronouns will follow. Prestate il vostro vocabolario allo zio. Prestateglielo. Rimanete in camera vostra. Rimaneteci. So that's it for commands in the affirmative form. Now we will discuss the negative form. If affirmative commands say do this and do that, negative commands say don't do this and don't do that. This will be a bit different, as in the negative, the second person singular will simply be the word non, followed by the infinitive. The plural will instead look similar to the affirmative. Non mangiare. Non mangiate. Non scrivere. Non scrivete. Non dormire. Non dormite. With the negative imperative, pronouns do not need to follow all the time. The position simply reflects the emphasis you want to give to a particular word. The last word is always the one that is stressed the most. Let's compare two versions of the same phrases. Non la mangiare prima di cena. Non mangiarla prima di cena. Non mi guardare. Non guardarmi. Non sciupate i vostri libri. Non li sciupate. Non sciupateli. Non metterti le scarpe nuove. Non te le mettere. Non mettertele. And now we know how to give commands in Italian. But a word of caution, try not to go around barking orders at everyone you see. Italians love to argue, so they won't be bashful in telling you what they think of your suggestions. Let's check comprehension. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel for more tutorials. Support me on Patreon so I can keep making content. And as always, feel free to email me, ProfessorDaveExplains@gmail.com.